UFC 269, I've been really focused on this card for weeks now. The largest wager I will place for this calendar year in any sport will be on this fight, Dustin Poirier versus Charles Oliveira. A lot of you guys think I'm taking Dustin Poirier in this fight. And look, if I had to pick a fighter, I would take Dustin Poirier. But I think that ship has sunk just based on the value. He opened at very close to even money in this fight, maybe a small favorite. He's now as high as minus 160 plus. And I think betting someone like Dustin Poirier at a minus 160 against incredible fighter in Charles Oliveira that showed really improved striking against Michael Chandler, to me is just very risky. But there is one play I love in this fight more than anything. I'm taking the over of 1.5 rounds in this fight. I believe if these two guys fought 100 times, that this fight would go into the third round plus 95 out of 100 times. And look guys, I'm very cautious. You don't see me give out plays that are minus 150, minus 180, minus 220 very often. This is a more heavily juiced bet. It's expected to happen, right? You can find it as low as I've seen it at minus 160, minus 165. Most sites right now have it at minus 170. The reason I love this bet more than anything, if you think about Dustin Poirier and how he approaches fights, first of all, this is the most mature Poirier has been in his entire career. He's obviously very confident right now. He's a great boxer, a great striker. He can switch stances. But the thing about Poirier is, yes, he likes to press and pressure his opponent early on, but he also doesn't do that in certain scenarios. Look at the fight against Justin Gaethje. When he has a certain level of respect for that other fighter, he's gonna be much more cautious. Poirier did a lot of damage on Gaethje off of his back foot, not necessarily attacking Gaethje from the jump, because he knew and respected Gaethje's power. In this fight, Poirier understands that if he pressures Oliveira from the start, that there's a great chance Oliveira could shoot for that takedown. And although Poirier is a great grappler, I don't see him wanting to take this fight to the ground. He's gonna want this to be a fist fight and stay on the feet. So I think we're gonna see a very big chess match early on from both fighters. Now, if you look at that Michael Chandler-Charles Oliveira fight, anytime you're fighting Michael Chandler, it's an all-out war early, and that fight still made it into the second round. Now, for this fight to go over 1.5 rounds, to be clear, we need the first round to finish, and then we need 2.5 minutes to pass in that second round. And if you look at Charles Oliveira, I know he's capable of putting you out with his striking, as we've seen in the Michael Chandler fight, but also he's a finisher with his grappling, with his jiu-jitsu. I mean, the guy is just an absolute finisher. But Dustin Poirier is great defense, and he's very calculated, and he's very smart, and he's very confident. And I think this fight is going to start off very slow on both sides. I don't see a scenario where Dustin is going to want this fight to be an all-out war early. And in this YouTube video, I'm going to show you guys, Dustin is on record saying that that's what he wants to happen in this fight.
You got a dog in him, he's got a dog in him, but Charles Oliveira doesn't have a dog in him. Do you feel like that's the case? Do you feel like he can break, or maybe he doesn't have what you and maybe Justin and others sort of share, sort of the ability to really get in the trenches and really dig deep?
I would love for the fight to reach that point to where we all find out in front of the world. That's the goal of mine, is to get this fight into those deep waters and see who really wants it more, see who's willing to bleed more, and leave it all out there, because I know I will, no question about it.
He wants to test Charles Oliveira and see if he's got it, if he's got that it factor. Like, if he can go deep into the rounds, I think this really favors Dustin, and I think that's what Dustin wants to happen. And at the same time, I don't think Oliveira wants to come out and get into an all-out war early with Dustin. I mean, Oliveira's a great technical striker. The more I just think about this fight, it's not an all-out war early. I love this over 1.5 rounds. I'm betting it heavily. This is my largest bet of all of 2021. For you guys, officially, it's a 5-unit play, because you should never bet more than 5% of your bankroll on a bet. But again, I love this bet. Good luck to you guys if you tail.